Today on the Travel Magazine, Las Vegas, Nevada. Famous for its casinos, showgirls, and entertainers, Las Vegas is also an international sightseeing tour de force.
Welcome to this edition of the Travel Magazine. I'm Sandra Neal, and on today's show, we'll visit the canals of Venice and tour St. Mark's Square. We'll explore the pyramids of Egypt and King Tutankhamun's tomb. We'll also get a chance to go to a Moroccan bazaar. And where else can you explore the Eiffel Tower of Paris or the Statue of Liberty of New York all in one city? Welcome to Las Vegas.
The city of Las Vegas is a man-made oasis located in the Nevada desert, close to the Arizona border. Las Vegas is a Spanish word meaning the meadows. It was officially founded as a city in 1905. Gambling was legalized in 1931, and the rest, as they say, is history, and the stuff of mobster legends made famous by Hollywood. On December 26, 1946, Benjamin Bugsy Siegel opened the Flamingo Hotel. 4 years later, his murder would begin an era of ruthless criminal control of the hotels and casinos. In an effort to stop organized crime during the 1960s, Nevada made it legal for corporations to own casinos. It's from this law that the Las Vegas of today has developed, a kaleidoscope of gaming and flamboyant theme-based hotels.
Caesar's Palace started it, a hotel with a theme. Back in 1966, it was a radical idea to be taken back to Roman times and be treated like Caesar or Cleopatra. But now, every new hotel that opens up in Las Vegas has a theme.
Every year, over 30 million people visit Las Vegas, making it one of the most popular destinations on the planet. Luxury hotels are filled to capacity, with tourists eager to try their luck in the casinos and anxious to take in the incredible sights. Visit New York's Statue of Liberty, just a short stroll from the Eiffel Tower in gay Paris. Looking for a little time travel? How does the Roman Empire sound? At Caesar's Palace, meticulous attention to every detail creates an enchantingly ancient atmosphere. Grand statuary, mysterious crypt-like corridors on every floor, and opulent halls fit for an emperor are just part of the exciting tapestry at Caesar's Palace. More than 28 million visitors come to Caesar's every year to take in the elaborate spectacles and play a slot machine or two.
Caesar, when do the games begin for today?
Well, they begin at 12 o'clock noon, if that's all right with you.
That would be all right with me, because the morning games were just too hectic.
Really? What's going on in the mornings? That's a problem for you.
No, I have a lot to do every morning.
What now, darling? We'll try to clear up your schedule so we can have time together for personal time.
I would, but the princesses are in need of new costumes, and I need to be there.
All right. We'll talk more of the princesses later. Can we please go see the show for the talking statues? That'd be nice.
Absolutely, that'd be fabulous.
You know what'd be nice, darling? Look around Rome. If it was to last like this forever.
To create the atmosphere of ancient Rome, the hotel grounds and casino are decorated with replicas of famous Roman statues, leaving no stone unturned in their quest for authenticity. Some of the marble used came from the same Italian quarry once frequented by Michelangelo. The replicas of famous works by Cleomenes, Canova, Bologna, and Michelangelo create an elegant and magical atmosphere not to be missed. There's no end to the live spectacles to be seen at Caesars. In fact, they begin promptly and for free every hour, 7 days a week. Here, a statue of Neptune comes to life in the legend of Atlantis. Ruling from his throne, King Neptune attempts to appease his feuding children, daughter Ice and son Fire. He struggles in vain to preserve his doomed civilization. All three of the characters in the show are actually state-of-the-art creations known as animatronics. Add spectacular lighting and sound effects, and you've got a show that you won't soon forget. This is Las Vegas at its very best. Over-the-top productions that transport you to another place and time. From ancient Rome to 15th century Venice in a matter of footsteps, here, visitors who may never get to Italy can experience the thrill of a romantic gondola ride on the world-famous canals. At the Venetian Hotel, nicknamed Las Venice, you're transported back into 15th century Venice, complete with all the monuments the city is famous for, including the Rialto Bridge. Legend has it that if you kiss your beloved on the bridge, your love lasts forever. The Rialto Bridge in Las Vegas takes you to the Venetian Hotel. Once again, no detail is overlooked when Las Vegas wants to deliver an authentic atmosphere. Paintings and statues from the Doge's Palace create the perfect backdrop for wandering minstrels and their delightful performances. I'm in St. Mark's Square. It's a miniature replica of the original piazza in Venice. The sky is painted to resemble a Venetian day at 4:30 in the afternoon. And in this square, you can also enjoy a cappuccino, shop, and take a gondola ride along the Grand Canal. St. Mark's Square is the centerpiece of this amazing mall that runs a quarter mile in length. Along the cobblestone walkway are more than 65 shops, restaurants, and cafes, all designed and decorated to maintain the Venetian theme. Everything in Las Vegas is an event, from a cup of coffee to a little souvenir hunting. And of course, no trip to Venice would be complete without a gondola ride along the famous canals.
Ciao, come stai? Everything good today?
Oh, everything's
Come on,
great.
we're gonna enjoy ourselves. Step on the little step of that.
Okay.
Just put the lap belt on for Severino, keep the feet on the floor and the seat in the
Okay.
seat. Capisci? Okay, Severino goes. Andiamo.
Here in Las Venice, you can take the romantic gondola ride you've always wanted. These delicate boats glide along a quarter-mile-long canal. And for the final romantic touch, each one is captained by a serenading gondolier. So I understand not only are you an incredible gondolier, you can sing as well. You're going to sing these songs?
Yeah, I sing all my life. That's all I do for the living. Yeah. Professional. Yeah.
How about O Solo Mio?
Oh, anything you like, I sing for you.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, mi chiamo Severino. This
My
is
name is Sandra.
my last name, though. My first name is Giuseppe. They say in America, Joseph. You can call me this if you like.
Okay, Joseph.
Giuseppe Severino, yeah. And you like Las Vegas? You have a good time, yeah?
Yes, I like Las Venice. This is
The best,
incredible.
yeah. We're having a good time, yeah.
What better way to relax, see the sights, and drink in some wonderfully authentic Italian culture and music?
Che bella cosa, dai un sole.
Lost in the wonders of Venice, it's hard to imagine that just outside the doors is the bustling city of Las Vegas. Drifting slowly along the canal is a wonderful way to simply look around and marvel at the incredible detail that has been put into the Venetian. The effect is truly remarkable. It really does feel like Venice has come to Las Vegas. The Venetian can best be described as a fantastic Italian fantasy, with the marvelous musicians and singers giving it that special, unforgettable flair. When we return, we'll visit the pyramids of Egypt and head for King Tut's tomb. Later, we're off for a tour of the Middle East and a little belly dancing. We'll also take in the hottest act in town. And love and marriage, Vegas style, where every girl dreams of Elvis walking her down a blue suede aisle.
on a travel magazine, we will tour the Las Vegas Strip and take in the attractions that make this the entertainment capital. So stay with us.
Che bella cosa na giornata dai soli n'aria serenado.
Welcome back to the Travel Magazine and the neon-studded city of Las Vegas, Nevada. The Las Vegas Strip is a sight unto itself, with everything from roller coasters to volcanoes competing for tourists' attentions. But if you want a break from the bright lights, you can always escape to the oasis that is the Mandalay Bay Hotel. You guessed it, Las Vegas goes tropical. Inside, the restaurant Ariel offers a unique dining experience, complete with a windowed wine cellar where a waitress on an electric hoist retrieves your vintage from the rafters.
The theme at the Luxor is ancient Egypt, back in the days of King Tutankhamun. The Luxor is the second largest hotel in the world, and the onyx-colored pyramid behind that huge Sphinx stands 350 feet tall.
The original Egyptian Sphinx was built to protect both the pyramids and the tombs of the dead hidden within their walls. The Luxor's replica is over 10 stories tall. Its pyramid contains over 4,400 rooms, with each side of the hotel covered by more than 13 acres of glass. The Luxor claims that the light at the top of the pyramid is the brightest in the world, visible from as far away as Los Angeles. Inside, the hotel boasts the world's largest atrium, more than 29 million cubic feet, and it's filled with replicas of some of Egypt's most cherished artifacts, including an incredibly accurate recreation of the tomb of King Tutankhamun. In order to get every detail just right, the construction of the tomb was overseen by a professional Egyptologist.
The artifacts that you see within the museum are all recreated and handcrafted using the original tools and techniques that were used back when these were created. They literally have the berries that they used to do the paints, the same type of gold leaf. All of these recreations are basically very identical to the ones that were originally made. When we were actually putting the museum together here at Luxor, we have a chariot out front, and they had neglected to bring the leather strapping that puts the wheels onto the chariot. And Dr. Mabrouk asked us to go out and get the leather for him, which we did. We came back, gave him the leather strapping, and he looked at it and he said, "Wait a second, this is from a cow." We said, "Yeah, well, that's, you asked for leather." And he, at that point, instructed us, "No, I need this kind of antelope," which was the identical type that was used originally. And we had to go out. We couldn't find that antelope, but finally we did find an American deer that was of a similar family. And Dr. Mabrouk grudgingly accepted that leather strapping, and that's what we have here today. The antechamber was the first room that Howard Carter actually broke into. And there's a famous line where he poked a hole and held a candle up, and Lord Carnarvon, who was Howard Carter's benefactor, was standing right next to Howard Carter. You know, they were anxious to see what was inside this room. Howard Carter's looking in with his candle, and finally Lord Carnarvon turns to him and says, "Howard Carter, can you see anything?" Carter responded to him, "Yes, wonderful things." And inside this room, there are 3 funerary beds. There are 2 guards who are watching the next room, which is a burial chamber, to keep any evildoers from getting into that room. And there are also, if you look underneath the center funerary bed, you're going to see a bunch of white enclosures. Inside these white enclosures, they literally had food for King Tut's afterlife. And when they opened some of these enclosures after they discovered the tomb, they discovered that some of the food inside of these were still good. The burial chamber is the most popular of the exhibits that we have here. And the reason that it is the most popular is because it's the focal point of the entire tomb. This is where King Tut's body came to rest. One of the things you'll notice in the burial chamber is that it is the only chamber that is actually decorated, where the walls are painted. The annex is a very interesting chamber. because as you look at the annex, you'll see that it's in a state of disarray. One of the reasons that it looks that way is that there were actually some break-ins into King Tut's tomb early on, shortly after he was entombed there, and the people who broke in were looking for precious oils and incense and so on, which were very valuable at that time. As you look around, you'll see that there are many of these pottery jars with some writing on them, and literally what you're looking at are wine jugs, and the writing shows the vintage, the type of wine, the type of grape, very much as you would find on a wine bottle today. The treasury is directly adjacent to the burial chamber. Probably the most interesting is a canopic shrine, which is the large gold object inside the room. And inside the canopic shrine, they held many of King Tut's vital inner organs. And they were held and protected by all the gods and goddesses that outlined that shrine.
Inspired by the Egyptian pyramids, the Luxor must still function as a modern hotel. Its unique design created some tricky engineering challenges.
The lobby of the Luxor is a scaled-down replica of the Temple of Ramses. This atrium is so huge you could fit 9 747 jumbo jets in here. And how do you get to the 30th floor of the pyramid? You have to take an inclinator to get to the pyramid rooms. When the inclinator starts up, you get a bit of a jolt. That's because it takes you to the hotel rooms at a 39-degree angle. I stopped off here on the 26th floor, and believe me, if you're afraid of heights, you may not want to look down.
Further down the Las Vegas Strip, you'll find the Aladdin, another luxurious theme-based resort and casino.
Welcome, Travel Magazine. Welcome to Desert Passage. I'm Amir Farhad, the Sultan of Bahira. Join us as we take you on an adventure, an experience you will never forget.
The Aladdin delivers a taste of the Middle East, with much of its inspiration coming from the legendary tales of 1001 Arabian Nights. Street performers enchant and amuse visitors of all ages. Among other things, this elaborate resort offers 21 restaurants, more than 2,000 guest rooms, 2 outdoor pools, and a 7,000-seat theater. There's always something going on at the Aladdin.
And behold, the Caravan of Wonders.
There's so much excitement at the Aladdin, you'll feel like you've had 1001 Arabian adventures all packed into just a few nights. When we return, it's back to the Luxor for the Strip's hottest and most colorful show. And then, we're going to the chapel, and we're gonna get married, Vegas style.
Still ahead on the Travel Magazine, we will take you around the world, and it won't take more than half an hour. Stay with us.
Welcome back to the Travel Magazine and the swinging city of Las Vegas. It's an old cliche, but this town never sleeps. Host to more conventions than any other destination in the world. And why not? Exciting casinos where fortunes are won and lost, sports betting, and some of the biggest and best entertainment to be found anywhere. One of the most popular shows in town is here at the Luxor. The Blue Man Group is literally Vegas's hottest act, playing to one sold-out house after another. The group uses an eclectic blend of unusual theater, whimsical instrumentation, and imaginative performance art to dazzle and confound spectators. one thing Vegas has always been famous for is its weddings. This city offers an endless variety of ways to get hitched. You can walk down the aisle escorted by Caesar, or go somewhere a little more secluded for a more traditional affair. But regardless of the venue, when you say your vows in Vegas, you know the memories will last a lifetime, even if the marriage doesn't.
Dolly, I know you think Lucky Lenny's crazy, but I love you and I want to get hitched.
Many Vegas chapels are open round the clock for those spur-of-the-moment happy ever afters.
Dolly, here's a great little place. Let me just run in and see if they'll take us. Hi, I'm Lucky Lenny. Me and my girl Dolly out there want to get hitched. Can you marry us?
Sorry, Lenny. We're all booked up. You're out of luck.
When it's a Vegas wedding emergency, there's only one man to see.
It's the king. I'm Lucky Lenny. Me and Dolly, they're out in the car, been trying to get hitched. Can you fit us in?
And what particular day would you like to get married?
Right now?
Well, let me see here. Well, Lenny, well, I would say Lucky, but it's not. Lenny, I guess you're just going to have to be lonesome tonight. But I'll tell you what, Lenny, I'll give you a little complimentary keychain just to keep driving on and rolling on and
If you're still determined to prove your love, even after the king has let you down, there's one place in town that'll have no trouble fitting you in.
Dolly, I think I found a place that'll marry us.
When you're desperate to make it legal, there's always the drive-through chapel.
Hi, good. I'm Lucky Lenny. Dolly and I here have been all over town trying to get married. Can you help us?
Lenny, it's your lucky day. Do you have your marriage license?
Regardless of the venue, you can't say I do in Las Vegas without a valid marriage license.
Once the skies were always blue. Somehow we made it through. And you could rely.
I hope you've had a regal time enjoying our tour of Las Vegas. For the Travel Magazine, I'm Sandra Neo. Join us again as we travel the world. Hail Caesar! You know, I've never been to Venice before, but I feel like I've been there. Oh, thank you so much. It was wonderful.